special episode as we are in the midst of my birthday season. And so tonight I will be joined by a few friends as we cook together online. Looking forward to it. I better get ready. With grilling season right around the corner, there's so much more you can do than just burgers and steaks. And tonight we are going to do barbecue pizza. Barbecue pizza, not flavor-wise, but we're going to actually cook it on the barbecue, which is going to give us an excellent, authentic Italian pizza taste.
One take Tara.
Anyways, most important ingredient right here.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
They're just staring at you. They're not saying nothing. How rude.
How rude.
One take Tara.
Water. I'm putting it in. All right. Yeast.
Yeah.
Then just add, once you got those in there, just add 1.5 cups of flour to start.
Yeah, that one. Thank you. Can you get Mommy a glass? What feels like quite a bit of flour.
Well, don't add too much. Add it as you need it because you want the dough to be pretty soft. So JC, the trick to knowing if your dough is ready is if you can pull it apart and you can see the light through it without it breaking.
Not even close. How do you know when you've added too much flour?
Well, it'll be really hard to knead and it won't stick. It'll just be stiff. So look, I think my dough's done if you want to look at the screen. Here, look at mine. I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in my bowl and just to coat the dough, and then I'm just gonna let it rise and get cleaned up a little bit. Got mozzarella and bocconcini all sliced up. I've got some spicy Genoa salami, some garlic, and some Roma tomatoes.
One take Tara.
This recipe probably makes about like 6 decent sized individual pizzas. So yeah, but it's up to you. So I just dump it out on the countertop. And you're gonna want to take some olive oil and put it on your baking sheet.
And then barbecue.
You really don't need to You really don't need to knead it or anything.
Oh, this is so soft.
Yeah,
again.
just you don't need to knead it. JC, stop kneading.
All right.
Just dump it out onto your counter and then take your serrated knife
So
and just slice it like a pie. And then you just put it on your oiled baking sheet and you just press it out. And you can go pretty thin, because keep in mind it's a thin crust pizza to begin with, and it's gonna double in thickness as when you cook it. And you wanna make sure both sides are coated pretty good with the oil.
Yes. Mine is super stretchy, so I'm like, fight.
Hang on, do you have oil in your pan? What happened? Did it fall? Oh no! 3-second rule, quick!
I got it. Found it. 5-second rule.
Yep. Now, lots of people are very surprised to hear that the dough goes right on the grill, but the dough is quite oiled and it's so hot that it doesn't stick at all. So these won't be perfectly round, and that's fine. It's sort of an artisanal, rustic kind of pizza. And actually they kind of look like hearts, so isn't that cute? Especially if you're making this for your sweetheart. We're gonna close the lid, but we're gonna keep a close eye on it because it cooks really, really fast. And essentially what we're doing here is we're cooking one side of the pizza. We're gonna pull it out, we're gonna flip it over, we're gonna put the toppings on the cooked side and then put it back on for to cook the underneath. And I can just already smell it, so I'm just gonna keep a close eye. I've got tongs. Tongs are really handy, and you can kind of lift it up. Oh yeah, look at that. It's already getting, now you want a little bit of a char, and that's fine, but it doesn't take long. I'll just show you what it looks like underneath. You can see it's bubbling up nicely, that's good. And I think these are probably good. We don't want them to get too hot. So as I take them out, I'm gonna flip them over and I'm gonna put the cooked side up. Now this pizza recipe is a little bit different in that it doesn't use a traditional tomato sauce. Of course you can if you like, but this is just a different sort of fresh way to do it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is brush some olive oil on the top, a generous amount of garlic on here. And basically we're taking all the flavors that would be in a tomato sauce and putting them on our pizza. So you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take some grated mozzarella and put a light layer down. Stanley, go away, go. And now I'm going to put on the sliced Roma tomato. If you're using a different kind of tomato, you may want to cut them in half so they're not as big. And basically this is like our sauce. So it's gonna go on there. I'm gonna use some of this salami, get that on there. And as you can tell, I'm not going too crazy with the toppings. We are gonna go with some of our fresh bocconcini mozzarella. I'm gonna put this back on. I've changed the temperature to low because we don't want the bottom of the pizza to cook, to be finished cooking until the top ingredients are all melted and heated through. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this, and it should be ready in no time.
One take Tara.
All right, our pizza is done. So the very final step is to cut up our fresh basil. I've taken a bunch of fresh basil leaves and I've stacked them, and I'm gonna roll them up, and this is called a basil chiffonade. So you roll it up tightly, and then you take your knife and you just thinly slice it. and you end up with all these sort of long strands of fresh basil, which you can sprinkle over top of your pizza that is freshly out of the oven. Our pizza looks amazing. We are going to put some fresh cracked black pepper on and cut it, and the only thing left to do is eat it. Bon appetit!
One take Tara.